Hello and welcome to this fortnightly news roundup coming to you on Nagaland Cornerstone TV, NCTV News from Highland Dawn Media Studios, Kohima. I am Sekulun Nene. Besides our NCTV cable channel to Kohima, Dimapur and Mokokchung, we are able to carry this news from Nagaland via online and worldwide. NCTV News is able to come to you also through the collaboration and news item from the Directorate of Information and Public Relations, IPR Nagaland. Over to our news highlights for this week, September 21st to October 2nd, 2018. Government e-marketplace launched in the state. Nagaland Governor P.B. Acharya visits Kipiri District. Comptroller and Auditor General detects anomaly up to 230 crores in Nagaland. Nagaland Legislative Assembly NLA discussed various issues. Lotha students of Shillong asked to be ambassadors for Nagaland. Naga People's Front NPF has alleged citizens not safe under PDA. Y Patton inaugurates Forensic Science Laboratory. Dimapur tops in HIV positive cases. Nagaland to construct roads with own resources. Government e-marketplace launched in the state. State mission on Government e-marketplace GEM was formally launched by Chief Secretary Benchilo Tong IAS at Secretariat Conference Hall, Kohima on 21st September 2018. The Chief Secretary informed that the workshop is carried out as part of the nationwide drive and stated that GEM is an e-commerce portal hosted by the DGS&D, Directorate General of Supplies and Disposals. Tong appraised that the GEM portal is rapidly increasing its business since its inception, with transacted business totaling to Rs 11,875.80 crore. For the government departments, GEM provides a huge advantage of offering a wide range of products and services along with the benefits of a transparent and easy procurement process. The Chief Secretary requested all the administrative heads and heads of department to actively consider maximum utilization of the benefits offered by the portal so that the value of the funds placed at their disposal is multiplied. Additional Chief Secretary and Finance Commissioner Tamjan Toy, IAS, said GEM is basically a procurement program where the entire transaction is paperless, and the present system where the departments have to issue tenders take time. The issue of transparency also comes in. He also stated that GEM will do away with bureaucracy of procurement and also simplify and speed up the process of procurement. Toy said GEM is here to stay. It is also our endeavor to encourage our local suppliers. Till purchase of Rs 50,000, you can buy from any seller. Beyond that, you'll have to select from the lowest bidder. Up next, Nagaland Governor P.B. Acharya visits Kipiri District. Governor of Nagaland, P.B. Acharya visited Kipiri District on 20th September 2018. Firstly, he visited the District Hospital Kipiri and inspected all the wards. During interaction with the patients and doctors, the governor called upon all to work more effectively and bring changes to the hospital. He also inquired about staff quarters and manpower in the hospital. Condition of poor roads and lack of transportation facilities was also highlighted to the governor. The governor distributed fruits and biscuits to all the patients. The governor then visited Zishaji Presidency College and interacted with the students, where he mentioned that the students are the backbone of the future generation and urged them to be determined to achieve their goals. He further encouraged the students to take up other professional courses and to take up loans under central schemes in case of financial problems. The governor mentioned about absentee government teachers and do away with proxy teachers while calling upon them to be dedicated in their teaching profession and mold the career of the students. Later on, the governor interacted with different tribal Hoho leaders, NGOs and different organizations at GA Rest House Kipiri on the same day, when the tribal Hohos appealed to the governor to uplift the district by upgrading the district hospital Kipiri and immediate shifting to the new hospital building. Tekir public leaders also handed a representation to the governor, voicing out problems faced by them. The governor committed financial assistance for the construction of women vegetable marketing shed in Kipiri town under the Akeda Sangtam Larut Sing Mujang Women Group. During his visit to the government higher secondary school, the governor interacted with the school students, parents and faculty members, where the absence of maths and science teachers were highlighted, including the need to construct school fencing and better school building. Next, the government of Nagaland has constituted the state-level committee for monitoring progress of Shelter for Urban Homeless (SUH), a component of National Urban Livelihoods Mission (NULM), with the following members with immediate effect. Number 1, Mrs. Banyo Z. Jamir, IAS retired, as the chairman. Number 2, Secretary Urban Development Department, member. Number 3, Dr. Kepelhuse Terhuja, President, Angami Public Organization, Member. Up next, Comptroller and Auditor General detects anomaly up to 230 crores in Nagaland. A report of the Comptroller and Auditor General (CAG) of India on state finances for the year ending March 31, 2017 was tabled on the concluding day of the second session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly. It was pointed out that there were 25 cases of misappropriation, loss, etc. involving government money amounting to Rs 230.33 crore up to March 31, 2017 and on which final action was pending. The CAG also detected various anomalies in government departments such as lack of transparency in awarding works, inadmissible payment, infructuous expenditure, evasion of tax, avoidable expenditure and undue benefit to the contractor, fraudulent drawal, irregularities in work execution, etc. CAG audit report was prepared on the basis of finance and appropriation accounts and audit of the state government departments and state-owned companies and corporations. With regard to misappropriation, loss, etc. involving government money, Rs 230.33 crore, CAG report pointed out that the highest amount of misappropriation that amounted to Rs 74.83 crore involved one case in Youth Resource and Sports Department, out of which an amount of Rs 0.05 crore had been recovered so far. The CAG report maintained that timely submission of utilization certificates (UCS) was also a major area of concern. It said at the end of March 2017, 286 UCS involving an aggregate amount of Rs 909.61 crore was pending for submission even after a lapse of 1 to 6 years from various departments. As on 31 March 2017, CAG stated that 25 cases of misappropriation, defalcation, etc. involving Rs 230.33 crore pertaining to 14 departments, private firms and various other departments were pending finalization. Next, Nagaland Legislative Assembly (NLA) discussed various issues. Non-implementation of reserved quota for backward tribe in Roads and Bridges Department rocked the last day of the second session of 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly (NLA) here on Thursday after RNB Minister Tongpang Ozukum mentioned about appointment of lower division assistants (LDAs) and sectional assistants (SAs) from March 1 till date, without fully implementing the reservation quota. The minister stated this while replying to a start question by opposition member Kazoluzo Nene. The minister was subjected to intense attack by senior opposition legislators for violating the office memorandum on ban of appointments of grade 4 staff. NPF member Azo remarked that PDA slogan "Change is coming" was a farce as a leader ought to be for all Naga communities and not a particular tribe or constituency. Azo took the opportunity to raise hackles by claiming that the denial of job opportunities to Eastern Nagaland tribes had hardened the Eastern Naga People's Organizations (ENPO) to reinforce its demand as separate state of Frontier Nagaland. He cautioned that if such trend continued, people of Eastern Nagaland would become slaves of advanced tribes. Further, Azo alleged that the number of government employees belonging to tribes from Eastern Nagaland was less compared to the number of posts held by advanced tribes. Another NPF member, Chotis Sazo, asked the minister reason for non-implementation of the reservation quota and demanded from leader of the House to protect the reservation policy. NPF member Itachu mentioned that people working on ground were SAs and not engineers, and therefore stressed that preference should be given to men. He commented that such ignorance was not expected from a former student leader. Criticizing the minister, NPF member Yolo Konyak asserted that Nagaland could not be ruled by 3 or 4 advanced tribes and demanded that all the appointments should be cancelled immediately. NPF members BS Nanglang and Miting Nyung Basangtam too joined in demanding immediate termination of the appointments under PWD and sought reply from leader of the House in this regard. In his response, Ozukum admitted that 37% reservation for backward tribes was not maintained and said that the department was reviewing the matter and other service rules. He said appointments were made on emergency basis and could be terminated, but assured the legislators that appointments in district headquarters would be as per the reservation policy. The minister, a first-timer in assembly, could not offer further clarifications to intense queries from opposition members. Coming to the rescue of the minister, Leader of the House Nipio Rio reiterated the standing order that vacancies for lower grades in district headquarters would be filled up by indigenous inhabitants. He assured the House that his government would stand by the reservation policy and also assured members that lapses in R&B department would be looked into. Appointment of Lok Ayukta. Nagaland Chief Minister Nipio Rio on Thursday informed the Assembly that the search committee, after a meeting held on August 30, 2018, decided to write to the Registrar of Guwahati High Court to suggest names and for further discussion with the Chief Justice of High Court, Speaker and the Leader of Opposition as per the provision of the Act. In this regard, Rio said response from the registrar was still awaited. It may be recalled that the PNAR department had constituted the search committee for appointment of Lokayukta panel. Government seeking views for citizenship bill. Leader of the House and Chief Minister Nipio Rio said the draft Citizenship Amendment Bill CAB 2016 as sent by central government was discussed by the cabinet during its recent meeting and has sought the views of the Advocate General Nagaland. Up next, roundup of second session of the 13th NLA. The second session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly, which began on September 18th, concluded on Thursday. Following are some of the topics and issues raised and discussed. Rio on selection of Dr. T. Au Sports Award recipients, PDMTF. Nagaland Chief Minister and Leader of the House Nipio Rio on Thursday said that the Dr. T. Au Sports awardee under 4 categories, coaches, sports administrators, state sports institutions and athletes are selected as per the Nagaland State Sports Policy. Rio was responding to a query raised by NPF MLA Krehu Lezetsu on the criteria for the award following several questions raised against the selection process. Rio said that the department had not received any official complaint or letter except through the media reports. On the process or criteria of appointing the Project Director of Music Task Force (MTF), Rio said this was to be done as per rules laid down by the PNAR department. Further, when asked about whether the department had published any advertisement or notification for filling up the post of MTF Project Director, Rio said that the department had issued a circular addressed to all AHODs and HODs inviting applications for filling up the post. Deputy CM and Home Minister Y. Patton informed the NLA that the situation at Amguri Gate was under control after intervention by the Mokokchung and Sivasagar District Police and Administration. Replying to a start question by opposition MLA Aman Bayadan, the minister said that the state government, through the Home Commissioner of Nagaland, had also written a letter on July 26 to the Principal Secretary Home Assam requesting for a directive to be issued to District Administration Sivasagar to not carry out any construction activities in the DAB. Patton said the matter is also sub judice in the Supreme Court. He was also asked why IR platoon forces had been stationed some 25 kilometers away from the disputed place. Patton said the IR platoon was kept in Tuli as a striking reserve to meet any contingencies in the border areas. He said that though there were many empty structures in the paper mill due to non-availability of electricity and water supply, the IR personnel could not be accommodated at paper mill colony. However, he said 4 sections of IR personnel are stationed at Watiyongpang Check Gate, Amguri Gate itself near the disputed area. Should any situation arise in Watiyongpang area, Patton said the 13 IR battalion posted in Yajang can quickly move to tackle the situation. Leader of the House and Chief Minister Nipio Rio said that there are currently 8 ESC offices under construction in the state. He was replying to the start question raised by opposition MLA Yitachu on the total amount required for each of the construction to complete and the total earmarked amount during 2018-19 against each of the ESC offices. Rio informed Yitachu that a total amount of Rs 264.02 lakhs was required for completion of the ESC offices. MLA Yitachu in his supplementary question sought to know the reason for the differences in the amount allocation, adding that for equal development, equal distribution should be allotted. Rio replied that he would look into the matter. Next, Lota students of Shillong asked to be ambassadors for Nagaland. Y. Patton, Deputy CM, on September 22nd told the Lotha students of Shillong to be ambassadors for Nagaland by exhibiting positive qualities of the Nagas. Patton was speaking as the special invitee at the Golden Jubilee celebration of Lotha Ekai Ekung Shillong LEES at Naga Community Hall, Nagaland House, Shillong. Patton told the students, "You are studying outside your home state and so you represent the image of the Naga people. And if your behavior sends out negative vibes, then you are destroying the image of Naga people. But if you show the positive side of you and the true characteristics as handed down to us through generations, then you are building the image of Nagaland." Patton also recalled his student times in Shillong during the 1970s when he also served as the president of LEES and said he was filled with nostalgia. "During our times, it was difficult to have instant and easy communication among each other as it is today. Things have totally changed today. Any information is immediately given out and received," he said. He also said that students were more sincere and hardworking before the onset of technology, since back then they did not have as many distractions. Patton advised them to be studious, hardworking, determined, and most important of all, fear the Lord. He encouraged and challenged the student community by announcing a cash prize for students who crack UPSC and NPSC examinations during his ministership. Patton also spoke about the unemployment problem and said that the government could not give jobs to every graduating student and encouraged them to take up vocational skills and explore avenues in the private sector. Next, National Mathematics Day observed at Kohima Science College, Jotoma. National Mathematics Day 2018 was observed at Kohima Science College, Jotoma on September 15th on the occasion of the College Foundation Day. The event was organized by the Department of Mathematics KSCJ and was sponsored by Nagaland Science and Technology Council and ASTEC under Nagaland Council for Science and Technology Communication NCSTC program. A press release from Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics KSCJ, TG Meyase stated that 8 institutions from Kohima participated in the inter-school competitions. The participating schools were City King Higher Secondary School, Baptist High, Mazar Higher Secondary School, Model Higher Secondary School, Rizukre Government Higher Secondary School, Modern College, Little Flower Higher Secondary School, and Mount Sinai Higher Secondary School. Up next, opium addiction continues to be a menace. Since the area came into contact with opium some decades back, opium addiction continues to be a menace in part of Mon district, especially the areas bordering Myanmar. Many community-based programs and initiatives have been undertaken, however the problem continues, said a concerned local. 8 to 9% of about 3,000 Chanmoho villages' adult population are into this substance abuse. Adults ranging from 18 to 45 years, who also form the working population of the community, constitutes the maximum number of abusers. With the initiative of the local community under the AG's Joint Action Committee Against Opium Addiction, an opioid substitution therapy center was launched at Chanmoho village by the Deputy Commissioner, Mon. The program is supported by the Department of Health and Family Welfare and DUDA under the Border Area Development Program. The OST program for opium users was first started at Manyakshu in 2015 with the support of the Department of Health and Family Welfare. Out of over 300 users of opium in Chanmoho village, 134 users have registered voluntarily at the center. While appealing to others to follow suit, he called on the local community to pressurize the other addicts to join the program and be registered. Congratulating those enrolled at the camp, he encouraged them to continue to motivate themselves, maintaining self-motivation as the most important ingredient for the program. Earlier, convener Joint Action Committee Against Opium Addiction, WMOBA Konyak, in the introductory note, encouraged the users registered at the camp to make life's decision during the treatment. There should be change in lifestyle with the use of the therapy, he said. Maintaining that opium is readily available in the area from neighboring Myanmar, he called on toughening checking by the community to stop the import of the same. Up next, Naga People's Front NPF has alleged citizens not safe under PDA and pig import issue. Naga People's Front NPF has alleged that citizens are not safe under the PDA government, citing the September 7 murder of a police officer. It said that if police officers were not secure, the common people were absolutely not safe. Addressing media persons at the NPF Central Office in Kohima on Monday, NPF spokesperson Achembemo Kikon said the longer the PDA government continues in power, the life of citizens would remain under threat. Kikon suggested that the government should pave way for an alternative if they could not protect the citizens. NPF demanded that the government should ensure justice at the earliest by expediting the trial and awarding befitting punishment to the perpetrators as per the law of the land. On the issue of importing live pigs from Punjab worth 200 crore, initiated under DUDA, Kikon questioned the source of the huge amount. Kikon asked how the government could extract money from DUDA, adding that there was no coordination in the government as the nodal department, which was supposed to be veterinary and animal husbandry, was not aware of the deal struck between Nagaland and Punjab. He said the step was not agreeable and local entrepreneurs should be supported to encourage local products. Next, State Funeral of late Imtikam Zak Longkamer. State Funeral Program of late Imtikam Zak Longkamer, Advisor, Sericulture and Excise Department, who expired on Saturday after a brief illness, was held today, 25th September 2018 at Aulangdan, Ungma. People from all walks of life attended the program to give their last tribute. The program began with invoking God's blessings by El Temse Deacon, Ungma Baptist Church. After the farewell speech from the family members of late Imtikam Zak Longkamer, eulogies on behalf of the government of Nagaland were given by Speaker NLA Viko Yoshe, Minister Urban Development and Municipal Affairs Metsubo Jamir, Minister Higher and Technical Education Temjen Imna Along Longkamer, Minister PWD Tongpang Ozukum, Advisor Industries and Commerce NIDC Imna Tiba, followed by Department of Excise, Department of Sericulture NDPP Ausenden, Ungma Village Council, Ungma Senso Telongjem Kohima, Soyim Students Union, In-laws Anukapang and Clan Kidong. The mortal remain of late Imtikam Zak Longkamer was laid to rest at Ungma Village Cemetery with due state guard of honor. Next, Naga fighters excel in MMA event. Two fighters representing Naga Bushido MMA Academy, Demopolis, emerged victorious at the X1 International Championship held in Shillong on September 22nd and 23rd. Hinohito Aye beat Hugai Raj from Chennai in the bantamweight bout via submission Kimura, while Aloto Jimomi emerged as a victor in the flyweight bout, defeating Evanston Tankyu via submission armbar. The X1 International Championship is a national mixed martial art MMA event sanctioned by MMA India and organized by CR Projects. Up next, Peg Government College, first institution to be fully LED lighted. Deputy Commissioner PEG Orentang Lota presented a certificate to PEG Government College PEG on 24 September 2018 in recognition of the institution's effort towards becoming energy efficient by becoming the first institution in PEG district to become fully LED lighted. The LED bulbs were donated to the college by the Alumni Association of PEG Government College. DC PEG congratulated the principal and faculty and staff for the tireless service being given towards upliftment of the college despite the numerous constraints. He also appreciated the Alumni Association for their support and concern towards the college and their alma mater. Next, Water Resources Department launches biometric attendance system. Advisor Water Resources Department Namrin Chang launched the Aadhaar-based biometric attendance system at the Directorate of Water Resources on 26 September 2018. As per the Cabinet decision on 8 March 2018, where all departments were directed to introduce Aadhaar-enabled biometric attendance system for all government employees, the Water Resources Department officially launched the BAS to improve efficiency, transparency in monitoring the attendance, leave record, and overall working environment in the department. Speaking at the program, Advisor Water Resources Namrin Chang said that he is happy with the government's initiative to introduce the biometric system in all government offices, which will help in maintaining accuracy of attendance of all the employees. He encouraged all the staff to cooperate and make good use of the new system. Chief Engineer Water Resources Department, Tsegteng Nung Sang, while delivering vote of thanks, said that an old chapter has closed and a new one has begun with an intention to react fast with the changes that is taking place. Next, Y Patton inaugurates Forensic Science Laboratory. Deputy Chief Minister, Home and National Highways Minister Nagaland, Y. Patton, inaugurated the new Forensic Science Laboratory FSL building at Kacharigaon, Dimapur on 27 September 2018. Addressing the gathering, Patton termed the forensic laboratory as very vital for providing scientific evidence during the course of investigation. The primary role in collection and analysis of crime-related physical evidence in order to come to a conclusion is crucial in providing the case in the court of law, he added. He also reminded that the standards set by the criminal procedural laws demands to provide the guilt of a person beyond any reasonable doubt in criminal proceedings, which requires proper investigation supported by an efficient scientific aid to investigate. Patton reminded that criminals of the day operates by using technology without border and felt for an urgent need for Nagaland Police for equipping itself in computer forensic and forensic science. It is also imperative to identify and train police officers in the emerging area of new crimes, he maintained. Regretting that sending of exhibits outside the state for forensic examination and expert opinion causes delay and results in loss of resources, Patton encouraged the police department for developing new divisions within the state forensic department in order to avoid undue delay and losses. He expressed gratefulness on learning about the lie detector being functional in the FSL and was optimistic that it would be made a full-fledged division very soon. IGP NAP Wetsope Krome, IPS, in his short speech termed the day as remarkable and described the new building as an asset. Today is a time to celebrate in the field of crime detection, and now we should be self-reliant in this field, he added. DGP Nagaland T. John Longcomer, IPS, expressed appreciation to the Deputy CM for taking the initiative to bringing the FSL into reality, which he said was a big step towards self-sufficiency in the field of medical legal issues for quick delivery of justice. We are your force and we will all obey and stand shoulder to shoulder as you lead Nagaland into a brighter future, he assured. Minister PHED Jacob Jumomi, advisors Tovi Hoto and Dr. Longrinikan, officials from CP and FSL Office Dimapur, ADC Dimapur Albert Izung, village functionaries from Kacharigaon and Senjam villages and others attended the program. Next, Dimapur tops in HIV positive cases. Of the 11 districts in Nagaland, Dimapur, Tuensang and Kohima have the highest HIV prevalence with 5.15%, 2.56% and 2.52% respectively, as per the latest data available from April 2006 to July 2018. This was stated by Legislators Forum on AIDS LFA State Consultant Dr. Vinito L. Chishi while speaking on the overall scenario of HIV/AIDS in Nagaland at an advocacy program held at Eastern Bible College, EBC, Bank Colony here on Friday. In a PowerPoint presentation, he said out of 192,000 people screened for HIV in Dimapur between April 2006 and July 2018, 9,904 tested positive. And out of the 10,62,000 blood samples tested in Nagaland till July this year, 23,870 tested positive for HIV. Stating that the disease hit people in their prime, Dr. Chishi said 73% of those infected with HIV in Nagaland were between 25 to 49 years. The highest mode of transmission in Nagaland was through sexual intercourse, that is 90%, followed by mother-to-child transmission, which is 6%, he added. The latest statistics also show that though 17,161 HIV patients have registered for antiretroviral therapy ART since 2004, only 12,042 had started the therapy. Speaking as the resource person, Dr. Chishi urged students and faculty members present on the occasion to transform churches and theological institutes into a safe place for sharing, telling, and listening. He said church was at the heart of society and an important platform to reach out to the general populace when it came to disseminating information and spreading awareness on curbing the spread of HIV. Churches must act as a healing sanctuary where barriers are removed and people can share their pain and suffering without fear of judgment. Next, CM inaugurates Innovation Hub and Space Center. Equipped with a state-of-the-art planetarium, Chief Minister Nipio Rio inaugurated the state's first Innovation Hub and Space Education Center at Science Center Supermarket on Friday. A new facility, a two-storied building, is an initiative of the Center's Department of Science and Technology in collaboration with National Council of Science Museums, Kolkata. Speaking on the occasion as chief guest, Rio lamented that Nagaland had not done very well in the field of science and technology in comparison with other states, but hoped that setting up of the state-of-the-art center would provide a platform to young and inquisitive minds to experiment and come up with innovative solutions to basic problems and challenges. The Chief Minister remarked, "These are not mere facilities but opportunities to introduce young minds of Nagaland to a whole new level where their ideas would be molded and they can transform their ideas into reality." Earlier, Science and Technology Department Advisor Monlumo Kikon proposed creation of Chief Minister's Innovation Award to promote innovation and scientific creativity among young minds of the state. Narrating how young innovators from the state had regularly participated in various national and state-level seminars and congresses, Kikon said 9 schools from Nagaland had been selected for establishing Atal Tinkering Labs program, a flagship of Atal Innovation Mission designed to spark creativity and go beyond regular curriculum and textbook learning. In his address, National Council of Science Museums Director S. Chowdhury said the Innovation Hub and Space Education Center came into being after 4 years of hard work. He expressed confidence that the facility would help students nurture new ideas and imbibe inquisitive outlook. He hoped the facility would also act as a springboard to propel the students to face challenges and address them. Up next, Nagaland participates in International Visitors Leadership Program IVLP. Secretary General of NDPP Abu Mehta was selected by the United States government to participate in the International Visitors Leadership Program IVLP under the aegis of the United States Department of State, Ministry of External Affairs. A press release from NDPP Media and Communication Committees stated that the IVLP program attended by Abu Mehta was specifically in line with the Indo-Pacific strategy of the U.S. government, and it is the first IVLP project specifically under the Indo-Pacific strategy. The project consisted of leaders from 12 countries and included programs in the states of Maryland, Florida, Arizona, Montana, Hawaii, and the District of Columbia. In the capital city of the United States, Washington, D.C., Abu Mehta participated in a podcast interview that was aired and broadcast to a global audience. The release opined that it was perhaps the first time that a leader from Nagaland got the opportunity to highlight the Nagas' search for peace and political solution in the capital city of the world's most powerful nation. Mehta voiced confidence that the government of India and the Nagas would arrive at a democratic solution. On being asked about the NDPP's alliance with the BJP and the priorities of the PDA government, Mehta said that the BJP understood the pulse of the people and had a pre-poll alliance with the NDPP, and that the PDA government under Nipio Rio was focusing on improving infrastructure, building roads and ensuring good and transparent government. Up next, Nagaland to construct roads with own resources. With an effort to keep its commitment of providing good roads to people, the state government has decided to shell out funds from its own resources as funds from central government could take time. Informing media persons of this at his official residence here on Sunday evening, Planning and Coordination and Land Revenue Minister Niba Krone said a decision to this effect was taken during a meeting of Chief Minister Nipio Rio and Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton with officials of Planning, Urban and Public Works departments on September 29th. He said the meeting resolved to send the proposal to the central government. However, noting that the release of central funds might take some time and considering the fact that the working seasons had already begun, the meeting decided to begin work with the state's own resources. Krone said advertisements would be released inviting bids for major roads, adding whoever constructed the road would have to maintain it for 2 or 3 years after its completion. Stating that the road project would be taken up in phases, he said roads in Kohima and Demopolis would be covered in the first phase and would include all roads in colonies, wards and town areas. Considering the ensuing festive season, the minister said amenities like public toilets would also be built in Kohima and Demopolis. The minister hoped that with good roads and sufficient electricity generation, other things too would slowly catch up. Reiterating that the PDA government was trying its best to fulfill its commitment made to the people, Krone admitted that certain things were getting delayed but gave assurance that this would all be sorted out and the government would keep its commitment. Next, excessive encroachment at Demopolis railway station. After the series of reports highlighted by Nagaland Post on the stalemate with regard to improvement and development of passenger amenities and connectivity at Dimapur railway station, the other side of the story for the neglect had laid bare the most adverse factor, which is land encroachment. The railway authorities have alleged that a long-drawn court battle pertaining to land encroachment had turned out to be a major bottleneck and halted railway authorities from widening platform number 2 at Dimapur railway station and building a roof over it. As per Divisional Railway Manager based in Lamding, Ashish Sharma, a stretch of land in Railway Bazaar and a portion of an RCC building which falls under the certified land plan of the Indian Railways since the early 1960s after Nagaland attained statehood, had been encroached upon, thereby causing a bottleneck and halt in expansion works. The case is currently being fought in the Sub-Divisional Magistrate Court. Another railway official alleged that patas were issued by the state authorities despite the land being part of certified land plan since the 1960s. It is also worth mentioning here that an eviction drive was conducted at Railway Bazaar in June 2014 under the Public Premises Eviction Act of 1971 in the presence of a judicial magistrate. Up next, Mini Hornbill cum Tokum Festival 2018 at Noklak. Mini Hornbill Festival cum Tokum Festival 2018 began on 3rd and will continue till 5th October. The inaugural program was held at Noklak headquarters at Public Ground, which was hosted by advisor H. Haiying with advisor H. Kehovi Yaptomi as special guest. Kehovi inaugurated the exhibition stalls and cultural events were presented by Konya Cultural Troupe, Sanglao Cultural Troupe, Noklak Village Cultural Troupe. The program was chaired by Deputy Commissioner Tunsang L. Yamitang Lotha, invocation by Executive Secretary KBCA Reverend S. Noksa Chiu, welcome note was given by L. Ngon, President KTC, short speech was delivered by Vice President ENPO, folk fusion was presented by Noklak Town Youth. Next, Top Class Contractor of Nagaland, Ville Lekamo was conferred with the 13th Classic Award 2018 in recognition of his philanthropic contribution during the 24th Foundation Day 2018 at Hotel Jafu, Kohima on 2nd October 2018. Nagaland Legislative Assembly NLA Speaker Viko Yoshe graced the occasion as the special invitee, and Advisor for Rural Development Dr. Nikki Kire, dignitaries and well-wishers also attended the program. Ville Lekamo, a man of true grit, carved a niche for himself in the tough world of business. Born on 14 February 1960, determination was his password. He did menial works to finance his studies, worked as domestic helper in the house of Mr. K.C. Sharma, the then director of All India Radio, Kohima. Shuttling between household chores and schools, he did himself proud by getting double promotion. However, his dream of continuing his education in Kohima ended with the transfer of his patron. Back in his village, he continued his education, but financial constraints compelled him to give up after passing his 6th grade. The making of this business tycoon started at an early age. The art of business was already ingrained in his young mind, as seen in this beautiful anecdote. The young Vilele made ₹2 by selling 2,000 clay marbles. He then borrowed ₹2 from his mother and went to Kohima. There he purchased 5 liters of kerosene at the rate of ₹4 and sold it off at ₹7 in his village. That was his first taste of success in commerce. Ville Lekamo's business breakthrough came when he was given a sum of ₹6,642 worth contract to construct a culvert by the then PWD South Division Executive Engineer Mr. Y. Chuba Ao. Through sheer determination, he finished the assignment within the stipulated time. Impressed by his diligence, he was awarded bigger contracts, which propelled his business to progress by leaps and bounds. Today, Ville Lekamo stands tall as top-class contractor of Nagaland. Some of his commendable works are the office buildings of the Directorate of Industries and Commerce, the Commissioner's Office, and the Indira Gandhi Stadium, Kohima. It is interesting to learn that Ville Lekamo, as young taxi driver, chauffeured the then Prime Minister of India, led Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, to lay down the foundation stone of the Indira Gandhi Stadium, Kohima. At that time, he was blissfully unaware that one day he would be the contractor of that very stadium. Indeed, fate has beautiful things on store for those who work hard. His benevolence towards the lesser privileged community makes him a much-loved human being, a noble soul who goes out of his way to make life better for others. NLA Speaker Viko Yoshe handed over the award to Vilileka Mo. In his speech, he lauded Vilileka Mo for his philanthropic contributions towards the upliftment of the lesser privileged community. He said Vilileka Mo's life is an example and an inspiration with yeoman and unparalleled social services. Yoshe described Kamo as a self-made man who worked hard, doing things that others did not want to do, to becoming a person of humility, peace and wisdom. With that, we come to the end of our fortnightly news roundup from Nagaland Cornerstone TV, Highland Dawn Media Studios, Kohima. Goodbye.